Hey guys, thank you for tuning in today to the first episode of Real Estate Unleashed. My name is Brandon Duracher. I'm a realtor going on 4 years with Keller Williams Realty Services. I've been a proud partner of the Tepper Group, powered by Place, for about 1 year now. Place is the first real estate consolidation platform representing only the top 20% of the real estate professionals nationwide. So let's dig in deep to why am I here today? Well, the reason for that is to educate realtors, sellers, buyers, and just the general public of what are the consequences of overpricing your house in a shifted market, which is this market we're in right now. And the reason why I chose this topic, well, honestly, I'm tired of seeing my clients, myself, and just people pass on homes because they are overpriced. I get really motivated when I see and hear about realtors agreeing to list an overpriced property because that realtor just wanted to get the home, right? Like they just wanted that listing, or they didn't know how to formally educate the seller about the consequences of overpricing their home in a shifted market during the initial listing consultation between them and the client or the customer. So we as real estate professionals, we have a fiduciary duty. Okay. We need to create a healthier ecosystem of properly pricing homes to increase transactions. All right. The reason why we need to increase transactions, we live in an economy built off of transactions. Okay. Per the well-known author and economist Ray Dalio, the economy is a sum of all of the transactions made. Now, let's get into understanding, the cost, the negative costs of overpricing your home in a shifted market, which is basically this market we're in right now. So this market we're in now, it's one thing to realize is that real estate is local. So for instance, in New Orleans, which is one market my partner Greg Tepper and I are tapping into, that's a buyer's market. I mean, within one zip code, 70117, there probably are close to 30 houses for sale, just sitting. Okay, most are overpriced by local realtors there. Okay, that's a buyer's market. In a buyer's market, the opposite happens. Buyers pass on properties. Some places on the North Shore, really in demand neighborhoods in Mandeville, houses are still flying off the market within 2 hours, right? That subdivision, when that happens, would be a seller's market, right? So real estate's local. So the market we're in now is the combination of a market shift, but the market not shifting all the way. So what this does, this creates confusion for realtors and homeowners when it comes to pricing property. So to sum it up, don't believe what the national headlines say. Don't believe what the news says. Most of the time it's BS. They just don't know because real estate is local. So what I mean by local is that real estate is conditional by a location by location basis. So in some in-demand neighborhoods where inventory is tight, meaning there's barely any homes for sale, and the days on market are low, which means that home spent a very minimum time on the market for sale. The cost of overpricing is a much lower cost in those type of neighborhoods. Okay. It's still important to study in detail the local market trends and pay close attention to the pending homes under contract to see how much of an average price decrease or price increase took place since interest rates have risen, which is when this whole shift started in the first place. Okay. Neighborhoods where houses are sitting longer days on market, meaning they're sitting without getting an offer, which is most prevalent right now, they need to be priced ahead of the market and not behind the market. And I will get into further detail in just a minute. So this starts pricing ahead of the market starts with finding out the current decrease in market value in that location. Okay. You study trends. You start with a broad spectrum in that zip code and moving further to that subdivision and then specifically on that home. So that funnel effect will allow you to learn market trends in that neighborhood. You don't just put together a one line CMA and present that to your client. If you are, you're not doing your due diligence, just give up. Okay. If you're a seller or a buyer, if you're a seller, you meet with a realtor who just brings a one line CMA to an appointment, they're not doing you justice. Okay. So we need to study trends, find out how that location's moving. Spend 3-4 hours doing this for your clients. Okay. It's worth it. Find that decrease in market value, deduct whatever that percentage could be from the average to low tier price after adjustments are made from the comparable properties used in that market analysis. So the thing is this, and this is when most realtors, I think, just kind of submit to what the seller wants versus, like you're not manipulating them, you're educating them on how they can make more money. Okay, so most sellers are resistant to price ahead of the market because they think pricing high out the gate and making price reductions is a better way to go. That is a myth. I promise you, it's not a better way to go. Okay, so realtors, for those of you watching, it is important that you know how to speak the proper dialogue to your clients in order to educate your clients and help your clients understand that they will make more money pricing ahead of the market versus chasing a down market with the price reductions all the way to the bottom. So what do I mean by this? What's the proper dialogue? How can we show them a visual of what this market looks like? Well, let's take a look at this graph to get ultimate clarity of what I mean. So this graph is it presents the downshifted market we are in right now. So just take a look at this graph. Okay, so this graph is labeled the cost of overpricing your home in a shifted market. Okay, so number one, you see the black circle with one, you see these dotted lines trending downward to 4, then from 4 to sale. Okay, that represents the fair market value declining during a shifted market. It's happening right now. Number 2, up high, that's the seller wanting to come out the gate high, priced high, because the realtor allowed them, didn't do their due diligence to educate them on the fact that doing that will just hurt them. Okay. The seller hopes a higher initial price will draw a higher offer. Number 3, the market interest is fragile with tight inventory and wanes quickly. So you see how number 3, it's like the dotted lines trend upward. And then once they hit 3, they take a deep dive down. And that dive is steeper than the direction the fair market value is heading in. Why is that? Because as a seller, when you first list your home on the market with a realtor, you're going to get showings. You're going to get activity mainly within the first 2 weeks because it's new and people want to see it. But once they see it, once word gets out that it's overpriced, market interest, it just wanes so quickly that the personal market interest of your home specifically declines more than what the actual fair market value is declining at the moment. Okay. Number four, saleable price is impacted by declining market value, staleness, and competition, right? If you would have came out the gate where that straight line is, just in between 1 and 4, and caught the market ahead of it, got ahead of the market, versus coming out the gate at 2, really high behind it, you'll make more money at the end. Why? Number 6, small price reductions only chase down the market. So number 2 represents the seller on the market at a high price. The house sits because it's overpriced. During that time, the market's not going to wait for you. It's going to keep diving deeper on a decline. So you're losing equity as we speak. The only way to get ahead of the market and sell your home is by doing price reduction after price reduction after price reduction. You're chasing it, okay? Until eventually you get fed up, you do one large price reduction, and you catch it at the bottom next to nothing when your equity is just depleted at that point. Okay, that's number 6. At that point, that's when buyers see that it's an attractive price, and that's when they purchase it, right? And that is the cost of overpricing your home in a shifted market. It's amplified when the market shifts. So that being said, let's go ahead and move on to a Q&A. All right. All right. Jeanette Sampson, what type of market are we in right now? Great question. So I would like to say we're in like this hybrid. Okay. Remember, real estate is local. We're in this hybrid where we're kind of being pushed in some areas are still a seller's market. Some neighborhoods where inventory is tight, there's barely anything for sale. So when the house does come for sale and that neighborhood is in demand, it's going to go quick. Okay. Even if it's priced a bit high, people are going to buy it. It's where they want to be. There's not much out there, and they're going to just snatch it up. There are some neighborhoods, mainly New Orleans is a great example, where there's 30 houses within a 3 to 5 mile radius just sitting. Okay. Mainly they're overpriced. There are many factors that go into that. A lot of people don't want to be in New Orleans because of the crime and so on and so on, right? So the price needs to reflect that, and it's not. So basically, that is a buyer's market because there's the inventory. There's a lot of houses for sale, so buyers have more choices, and there's very minimum buyers, right? So the buyer has the upper hand at that point. And when it's a buyer's market, the opposite happens, buyers pass. All right. Any more questions? Okay. All right. David, what type of economical effects do we see in the market shift? Okay. Well, it really starts with the Feds. And that's a great book I'm reading right now called Money Revolution. The author of Money Revolution goes into quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. Okay. Inflation is really when money is pumped into the economy. Okay. That trades inflation. Right now, money is taken out the economy from the feds, causes interest rates to rise, which pushes down inflation, cools off inflation. Okay. The effects of that is it shifts the way the economy is moving. So from low interest rates to high priced homes, from rising interest rates to pushing down the price of houses. Why? Because buyers are paying close to $900 more today than what they were 2 years ago because they're paying higher interest, which means that buyer can only the price tag that buyer can afford is much less than what they could 2 years ago because the interest rates are higher. So their monthly payment would be higher on a price that that's 30% lower compared to a home that was 30% higher 2 months ago. So the effects are people aren't able to afford higher priced homes because their monthly interest is higher, which is mainly what people look at initially. So I hope that answers that question. All right. All right. No more questions to follow. That's it for today. Tune in next week, next Monday at 10:30 for Real Estate Unleashed. Until then, see you.